2018,
The ad hoc committee's evidence leader will question Mkhwanazi on day one. MPs are expected to get their turn on the second day.
So I think Parliament, unfortunately, has taken a little bit too long to get running with it, but at least now it is starting. So it's extremely frustrating because Parliament really doesn't have an opportunity to get stuck in here and change the general perspective that it's just a talk shop. And we know that. So I think in terms of Parliament's recommendations, legally they can continue for years on end to make sure that those recommendations are implemented. Whereas in terms of the Commission, there's no legislation or anything that says it must be implemented. What makes the Commission unique, on the other hand, is they can refer directly for further investigation and prosecution, which obviously Parliament can't do. So there are pros and cons of both processes. I think Parliament as well will get to that cross-examination process likely quicker.
Some of the witnesses the committee plans to call include Fani Masemola, Brown Mkhwanazi, Vusimuzi Kat Nhlanhla, Diane Cole-Barnard, Fadil Adams, President Cyril Ramaphosa, Godfrey Labia, Advocate Lawrence Mkhwebi, Ronald Lamola and Gayton McKenzie, as well as Tebelo Mosikidi. The committee will also assess the scale of misconduct and unethical behavior among SAPS members and other implicated individuals or institutions, much like the work of the Madlanga Commission of Inquiry.
Look, there is a duplication, that's true. And I think that the whole central issue here is what should Parliament's role be? And the answer to that is that it is Parliament's job to exercise oversight. And so Parliament must be able to, do its work. The question then becomes, well, then when should they do that? Is it more appropriate for Parliament to do or to perform such an oversight during the Commission? Is it more appropriate afterwards? That is an academic question. I don't think that there is anything in law that is wrong with Parliament having a parallel process. I think that all parallel processes will be fraught with their own issues, their own kind of logistical constraints and all these things. But and we can debate these things, right, about whether it's appropriate or not. But ultimately, Parliament has to also exercise its oversight role, because it does have oversight over things like SAPS, over things like all of these different organs.
The committee's evidence leader, Advocate Norman Arendse, had consultations with Mkhwanazi ahead of the parliamentary process kicking off. Kevin Brandt, Cape Town.